Mylifewithparkinsons. Today is Try It Thursday, so I'm going to do something a little different for Try It Thursday. I'm going to try making an international type dinner. Now, I didn't want to make a fool of myself or do a dish that really wasn't proper. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to say that it's a true Mexican dish, because it's not, but it's with the Mexican flavors. So I just sort of made this up just from Mexican flavors and what I thought I would enjoy. So it's in the Mexican flavor realm, but it's not a true Mexican dish. Now, you can go heavier on the rice or heavier on the meat. My husband is not a huge rice fan, so we're going heavier on the meat end of it. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing here, but know that you can switch this up however you would like. This makes a very large portion here. I did that because I want to share it with some kids. So it says to brown your 2 pounds of hamburger thoroughly, which I have got that part done, and I did my trick with getting the grease out. So that's where we're at with that. Now I'm going to turn this up a bit. So after I've browned that thoroughly, which I've done, I'm now going to add a chopped onion. Or is that 2 chopped onions? That's 2 chopped onions. I thought that was a lot of onion. 2 chopped onions. And 1.5 cans or frozen corn. 1.5 cups or 1.5 cans of frozen corn. Okay. Now we want to put some seasoning onto our meat that's going to be Mexican. So therefore, the traditional would be cumin, chili powder, things like that. I can't use any cumin, and when I buy traditional chili powders, they often have it in there because that's a flavor that they have, and I'm allergic to curcumin. So I have a taco seasoning that I have made that does not have any cumin in it, and I just use the equivalent of what would be a couple of packages. Yeah, I have to be very careful when I go out to restaurants. If I'm having Indian or any curries or any Mexican, I have to be very careful about not getting cumin, or even the hamburger helper mixes. Some of them have cumin in it. So if any packaged food says assorted spices, I just have to avoid it. So, okay, so that's getting to start. Now we're going to wait until that gets a little bit more translucent. So while that's cooking, I'm just going to tell you a bit of a story. My husband, when he was delivering mail, that's what he did for a living, he was delivering mail. When he was delivering mail one day, he had a doctor's appointment. So he was coming up, he said, well, if I can come in just before my lunch break, then, it will be best for me. So they said, sure. So anyway, he went into the office before lunch break, and you sit in the waiting room for a little while. And he sat there, and then they said, okay, come on back to the room. And usually you don't wait too long in the room. You probably 10 minutes or something, but you don't wait too long. Well, he waited, and he said about half an hour had gone by, and couldn't figure out how come there's nobody coming in to see me. Anyway, hold the thought, I'm just going to add the next ingredient here. Okay, I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of water. And I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of minute rice. Now, the other cabbage roll recipe was regular rice. This is minute rice. So I got the minute rice. We want to bring it to a boil. You know what? That's not going to be enough water. I'm going to put a little bit more water in that. I can see that that's not enough water. So I'm going to say put in 2 cups of water. Okay? I'll change that on my recipe so when I write it in the description. So we're going to put this in. We're going to have it come to a boil, and then I'm going to simmer it, put the lid on for 5 minutes. This is a very quick meal. This is one of those ones that I thought if you could just have something fast and filling, and this is what I come up with. So we'll put the lid on. That's gonna turn down to low. Well, I want that lid to go on. So that's strange. This kind of doesn't fit right. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down to low. Let that simmer for 5. So about a half an hour had gone by, and he thought, this is crazy. So he went out to see what was taking so long. There was not a soul in the office. They literally had gone to lunch and left him in the room and forgot that he was back there. The doors to the whole place were locked. He was the only person in there. He said, I had to sit down and wait until they came back from their lunch, because he said I couldn't even get out the door. I said, they're lucky they didn't like have some thief in there that was going to search through their building or something. Like they did, but they completely forgot that he was in there. I thought that was crazy. Anyway, listen, I'm going to let that simmer for 5 minutes, and when I come back, I'll tell you the next step. Okay, we're back, everybody. Did I push the button correctly? Yes, I did. Okay, now there's 2 more sort of steps to doing this, but I'm going to be taking a little bit of time in between, because I'm cooking this at lunchtime while my husband and daughter are out doing our taxes, and I'm not serving it until supper time. So I'm going to show you what we do next. Okay, so this here came to a boil, then we cooked it at simmering on low for 5 minutes. Now, and then we stirred it, okay? So I took the lid off and I stirred it. I have trouble with this lid, so I have to put both these on. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to turn the heat off. And I'm going to, it says Mexican cheese because that's what most people would use. I don't have Mexican cheese. I have cheddar and mozzarella mix. So that's what we're going to do. No amount, whatever you want. I'm going to put this whole bag on it. Well, it's not, there was stuff out of it already when I did pizzas last night. So I'm just going to take that and finish up. Can't do wrong with cheese. All right, so I'm going to go like that. And now the heat is off. I'm going to put the lid back on. And now if I was going to serve it, I'll tell you what I was going to do. But I will show you it when we're having our supper. But what we're going to do when it's done, we're going to take a bowl, take some taco chips, crunch them up. Don't leave them whole. Crunch them up a little bit. Put them in the bottom of the bowl. Take your meat cheese mixture, meat rice and cheese mixture, put it on top of the chips. Then you top it the way you would chili that you'd like. Sour cream, avocado, salsa, a little bit of lettuce, whatever you want. You just top it the way you would a bowl of chili. And you've got a full taco rice bowl. And it's got the flavors of Mexico. It's super easy. It's super fast. You saw literally 10 minutes of cooking time and hardly anything of putting anything in. So that's where we're at. I will show it to you when we're ready to eat. Okay. Okay, we're back. Now it's time to set up the bowl like we were going to enjoy it. I said don't stir this because you wanted the cheese to melt. I am going to choose to stir mine because it's sat for a little while and so it has cooled down and I wanted to heat it up. So, but you would normally, it would be hot and you wouldn't have to do that. So I will turn this off now. Okay, so then I'm going to scoop what I want into this bowl. Okay, that's lots. All right, that's lots. And now I'll top it. Now I would normally like a little lettuce and stuff on it, but I didn't get it. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Pardon me. I'm going to go back here. I did that wrong. I make the recipe up and then I do it wrong. Okay, first thing, I take some chips. Now you don't want too many. Okay, so just put a few chips in. And then you just want to give them a little tiny bit of a crush up. See, I've got just a little crushed. Now I'm going to put my mixture on top. I mean, you could doctor this any way you want. Like, you could put beans or anything, you know, and that is a huge bowl. Okay, then I'm going to put, now I like sour cream. Bill does not. And I like a little bit of salsa. And I like guacamole or avocado. Now, today they were out shopping and they got me the holy guacamole avocado, because the avocados were not ripe. So this way I've got that on there. And if I had a little bit of shredded lettuce, I could add that, or some tomatoes on the top. But that's what it's like. And I'll just hold it up for you to see. There you go. And I'm going to put the recipe into the description box below. And I sure hope to see you here tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.